What are the messages you want to hear? Sit down quietly, close your eyes, and talk to your child. If you haven't talked to them in 62 years, it may take a few times before the child will believe that you really want to talk to it. Be persistent. I want to talk to you. I want to see you. I want to love you. And you will eventually connect. You may see the child inside you, you may feel it, or you may hear it. One of the statements that you can make when you first talk to your child is an apology. Say that you are sorry that you haven't talked to it in all these years, or that you are sorry for scolding it for so long. Tell the child you want to make up for all the time spent apart from each other. Ask it how you can make it happy. Ask the child what frightens it. Ask how you can help. And ask what it wants from you. Start out with simple questions, and you will get the answer. What can I do to make you happy? What would you like today? For instance, you can say to the child, I'm going to work. What do you want to do? They may answer, go to the beach. The communication will have begun. In your mind's eye, see them going to the beach and having fun. Be consistent. If you can take just a few moments a day to begin to connect with the little person inside of you, life is going to be a lot better. Communicating with your inner child. Some of you may already be doing inner child work. There are many books on the subject, and many workshops and lectures are given about it. Self-Parenting by John Pollard III is excellent, and it's filled with wonderful exercises and activities that you can do with your inner child. If you are serious about doing practical work with your inner child, I recommend that you pick up this book. As I've said before, there is a lot of help offered in this area. You are not alone and helpless, but you need to reach out and ask for help so that you can get assistance. Another suggestion I have is to find a photograph of yourself as a child and really look at the photograph. Do you see a miserable little kid? Do you see a happy child? Whatever you see, connect with it. If you see a frightened child, ask why it was frightened and start doing something to make it feel better. Find several photos of your younger self and talk to the child in each photo. It also helps to talk to your child in the mirror. If you had a nickname as a child, use that name. Have a box of tissues handy. I suggest that you sit down in front of a mirror, because if you're standing, as soon as it gets difficult, you will run out the door. Instead, sit down with your box of tissues and start talking. Another exercise you can do is to communicate through writing. Again, lots of information will surface. Use 2 different colored pens or felt markers. With one colored pen in your dominant hand, write a question. With the other colored pen in your non-dominant hand, let your child write the answer. It's a very fascinating exercise. When you are writing the question, the adult thinks it knows the answer. But by the time you pick up the pen with the awkward hand, the answer often comes out quite differently than expected. You can draw together, too. Many of you probably loved drawing and coloring when you were little children, until you were told to be neat and not to draw outside of the lines. So begin drawing again. Use your non-dominant hand to draw a picture about an event that just happened, and notice how you feel. Ask your child a question, and just let it draw with the non-dominant hand and see what it shows. If you can get together with others in small core groups or support groups, you can work on these ideas together. You can all let your inner children draw pictures. Then you can sit around and discuss what the pictures mean. The information you receive can be surprisingly insightful. Play with your little child. Do things that your child likes to do. When you were little, what did you really like to do? And when was the last time you did it? Too often, the parent inside us stops us from having fun. Because it's not the adult thing to do. So take the time to play and have fun. Do the silly things you did when you were young, such as jumping in piles of leaves and running under the hose spray. Watch other children at play. It will bring back memories of the games you played. If you want more fun in your life, make the connection with your inner child and come from that space of spontaneity and joy. I promise that you will start having more fun in your life. Were you welcomed as a child? Were your parents really glad you were born? Were they delighted with your sexuality? Or did they want the opposite sex? Did you feel you were wanted as a child? Was there a celebration when you arrived? Whatever the responses were then, welcome your child now. Create a celebration. Tell it all the wonderful things you would tell a little baby who was welcomed into its new life. What is it you always wanted your parents to tell you when you were a child? What was it they never said that you wanted to hear? All right, tell your child that very thing. Tell it to your child every day for a month while looking in the mirror and see what happens. If you had alcoholic or abusive parents as a child, you can meditate and visualize them as sober, gentle people. Give your child what it wants. It has probably been deprived for too long. Start visualizing the sort of life you would like to have with this child. When the child feels safe and happy, it can trust you. Ask, what do I need to do so that you can trust me? Again, you will be amazed at some of the answers. If you had parents who were not loving at all, yourself. Be thrilled that you are alive and that you are here.
In every person on earth there is a child within. According to Louise, when a person grows older, they have to face the reality of life, and slowly for many people the stresses of life hit, and many end up with extreme stress and depression. Louise Hay has stated that in order to find internal peace, one has to make peace with the child within. That child that represents the time of your youth and happiness, because that child is who you are. And if the child is sad and depressed, you too will feel the same way. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and do make sure to share your thoughts with us in the comment section.